Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to G'day Bitcoin. The Bitcoin news with the fast facts. The US government has sent $241 million worth of Bitcoin to Coinbase right when the markets hit level 46 on the fear and greed indicator. Good news, Julian Assange is finally free. With one Bitcoin whale diving in, donating over 8 Bitcoin or 8 Bitcoin to cover costs. Warren Buffett, his Nubank is integrating the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Go figure. Bad news, you might be able to sell your Bitcoin, pay your taxes in that shortly, and the US is selling over up to 4,000 coins, which is absolutely absurd. You can't make any more of this. Diving straight into the numbers, 46 on the fear and greed. It is nice. This was down lower yesterday at 30, and it's come back up a little bit. The longer it can stay down here, the lower, the better it is for us long term. Diving into the block clock, let's hit refresh. And while that's loading, we are at 61,023. We've got 1, 2, 3 there. Bitcoin is just working. Smash the buy button, whether it's red, whether it's green. We are at block height 849,608, 61,014 there on the block clock. This is pretty cool. 1,639 sats per USD, 369 there. Tesla's numbers of the universe. Bitcoin, it's just math. It just keeps working. You can see over here on the far right corner in the middle, time chain calendar has had a little bit of an update, but we are at block height 10 minutes and 44 seconds. We've processed 121 out of 144 in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin down to the right at the minute. It is actually quite glorious to see. Still sitting above 61,000. It's retraced back up. If we have a look at the lows, 60,693 last 24 hours with a high of 62,377. Last week, it's pretty much near all-time lows at the moment, or recent lows, let's call them that, 59,495 and a high of 66,176. It's just dirty old fiat. It really does not matter. Just really quickly, shout out to everyone watching live, watching the replay. It is good to see you this morning. Now, the US government, Ash Crypto breaking. They have just transferred 3,940 Bitcoin worth 241 million to Coinbase. They still hold only 213,546. Look at the numbers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In their Bitcoin wallet, if you were to throw them around there, worth about $12.9 billion. We are going to come back to what the US government is doing on two fronts there with the selling and allowing you to pay your taxes and Bitcoin, something I would strongly urge you do not do. That's what fiat's for. Give them fiat, they give you fiat, don't give them the world's hardest asset. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but rocking on, Julian Assange, finally free. He has reached a plea deal with the US Department of Justice. WikiLeaks co-founder, he had to plead guilty to a single espionage act or charge in exchange to a sentence for time served. A little bit of backstory there. WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange, now a free man. The Australian Prime Minister was so happy he got to be there and enjoy. We know my thoughts in regards to that. Julian Assange, he's home. He's free. It's good. He did need he struck a plea deal with the US Department of Justice. WikiLeaks co-founder spent 5 years in the UK jail cell and nearly 7 years holed up in Ecuador's embassy in London, boarded a private jet at Stansted Airport and left the country, WikiLeaks announced on X. Julian Assange is free. Assange was arrested in the UK for breaching his bail conditions after seeking asylum in Ecuador's London embassy to avoid extradition on various charges, including those related to his role in publishing classified documents provided by Chelsea Manning. What I found very interesting in regards to Chelsea Manning, had her own sentence commuted back in 2013 by then President Obama, but not Julian Assange. It's 2024, and finally he's a free man. Why the person providing the information had her own sentence commuted back in 2013 is beyond me. As CoinDesk reported at the time, going way back, Assange said that WikiLeaks initially refrained from accepting Bitcoin. This was way back in the early days. And how WikiLeaks and Bitcoin came together in this symbiotic relationship, and it was really one of the good first use cases. Obviously, Silk Road was the first mainstream use case, but maybe not um, the best advertisement, whereas freedom of information, I think, a whole lot better. WikiLeaks initially refrained from accepting Bitcoin to avoid drawing government scrutiny that could hinder the cryptocurrency's growth after a personal request from Bitcoin founder Satoshi Nakamoto. Julian Assange, one of the few people in the world that can say he had an email from Satoshi Nakamoto saying, "Hey, hang on a little bit, don't use Bitcoin just yet. Let's just chill." Later, when facing a financial blockade, it adopted Bitcoin for donations, providing vital funding for WikiLeaks and simultaneously enhancing Bitcoin's legitimacy and utility. Last thing, and I attack Ethereum all the time because it's a scam and it's been inflating for maybe the last 73 days straight. Stay away from Bitcoin, but it has my apologies. Stay away from Ethereum, not Bitcoin. Stack Bitcoin, get as much of it, and get as close to Bitcoin as you can. But Ethereum's done a good thing here. This was the best use case for Ethereum that's probably ever existed, that will ever exist. During his legal battle with the US and UK governments, Assange and WikiLeaks supporters turned to a decentralized autonomous organization known as a DAO to help fundraise for his legal fight. They raised over 16,500 Ether. Credit where credit's due. Well done to everyone holding Ether that gave it away for such a good cause there. Over 55.2 million at current prices for his defense. And no idea what his defense costs have been over the last 12 years, but absolutely extraordinary and huge, I'm sure. So well done to the ETH heads out there. Hopefully that was the last that you were holding. And yes, I'm being biased. Yesterday, an anonymous donor has paid over 500,000 Bitcoin to cover Julian Assange's return to Australia after his prison release. It worked out to be 8 Bitcoin. Now, Julian Assange just received the 8 Bitcoin. He also received 300,000 quid in fiat donations so far. Assange will therefore arrive in Australia debt-free, thanks in large part to the generosity of a single Bitcoin whale. A little bit contentious. There's been a little bit of internet sleuthing, and whether it's Jack or Andrew Tate, it's I'll show you both sides of the argument. Neither man has come out and verified, nor are we going to find out. It looks like it was an anonymous. It looks like it was a private donation. But detective work by Iwan Rabinstein shows it might have been Jack Dorsey and not Andrew Tate who sent the 8 Bitcoin donation to Julian Assange. And the reason being, a couple of things here. Jack, safe passage through. 5:03 p.m., June 25th, 2024. Somebody on the blockchain, a little bit of a sleuth. 5:03. So we'll see. 5:03, 17:03. Interesting. It's probably more likely Jack over Tate. Daniel's chiming in here. Andrew Tate appears to be taking credit for the 8 Bitcoin donations to Assange. Who's Daniel? Daniel's Bitcoin Gandalf. If it is really you, Andrew, prove it by signing a message with the private key for that address. Internet would go absolutely bat-esque crazy, sir. What they're talking about, Alistair Mill posted about it, and Andrew Tate underneath put the emoji of a gift. Is it a grift, or did Andrew Tate give Julian Assange one of the biggest gifts? Don't know. Was it Jack? We don't know. I don't think we will know either. What do you reckon? Who was it? Tate, Jack, somebody else? We don't know. Either way, who cares? Julian Assange is finally free. This is a step towards freedom. It's glorious to see. Bitcoin Buddha, g'day, my cheeky little node holders. Let's go. Those who don't understand digital assets, buy Ethereum. 21 watching, 6 likes. Let's go. If you can, smash the like button. It's free. It's easy. Hit subscribe if we vibe. The news with the fast facts. We'll be dropping the Knut interview tomorrow morning while I interview Lawrence Lepard, and then I'll get that one out early next week for everyone as well. We G'day, Daniel. Nice to see your face. Now, jumping back to the US, what they're doing there. As the US, this CJ Konstantinos, we've had him on the show. Very, really interesting man. Actually, well worth checking out that podcast. This concerning to me on the national economic emergency level. USA should be adding as much Bitcoin to their balance sheet as possible, not offloading it. 1, you don't sell it because you're receiving in return dollars, the very thing you have the power to print. Number 2, you don't sell it because, believe it or not, just look at El Salvador, keeping Bitcoin on the balance sheet increases creditworthiness. This decision should be really easy and simple, as it is well justified by the math and supported by evidence. Who is making decisions to remove Bitcoin from USA balance sheet? This will not age well. Arkham, Intel, US government sends $240 million worth of Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime, 3,940 Bitcoin. This Bitcoin was originally seized from narcotics trafficker there, Banmeet Singh. And we have one more. Areas, space, obviously we saw it there. We are in fear, sitting at 46. We dropped down to 30, but there is widespread fears of government sell-off. Probably a little bit of food for thought. If it goes much lower, just smash the buy button, whether it's red, whether it's green. It's a glorious opportunity. I don't think it's going to impact it very much. All the coins could be sold at any time by anyone. The government choosing opportunities when the market's already weak to come in, I doubt it. They want to get as much fiat dollars for their Bitcoin as possible. Do they know how to do it? Probably not. Are they paying any attention? Probably not. I don't think they're going to come here and just crash and offload. Like, they've got $13 billion worth of Bitcoin. I don't think they're just going to come in and just start crashing the market. It's not in their best interest. And we'll dive into the potential vice president of the US state potential. Anyway, fears of government sell-offs impacting the Bitcoin market have gripped market participants recent weeks after reports German government was unloading its own Bitcoin worth roughly 2.76 billion at the time of writing. Most recent of these transactions occurred June 26th, so they did another one yesterday, and featured an output of 345 Bitcoin sent to a wallet labeled Flow Traders. Now, funny name, hey, for a government wallet. The US government also hold large quantities of Bitcoin acquired through seizures and asset forfeiture. Data from Arkham shows the US government currently owns roughly 214,000 Bitcoin, valued at 13 billion at the time of this ride, making the US government the largest shareholder. They're not going to come in and just dump $13 billion on the market. Are they going to sell all of it, or are they going to just stop, wake up, realize what they have, the world's hardest asset? They can just print endless money. So why trade something that they believe may or may not have value for something that they know has no value? That makes 0 sense. And we've also got the Mt. Gox selling pressure. I'll read this here. Selling pressure from the Mt. Gox bankruptcy estate has also stoked investors' fears of Bitcoin price decline as the former exchange begins the process of unloading 140,000 Bitcoin to reimburse injured parties of the infamous 2014 Mt. Gox collapse. Couple of things: if your Bitcoin's still on the exchange, get it off. Don't use Ledger. Do not use Trezor. Bitcoin only, air gapped, run a node, start there. Please don't use Ledger. Number one, they're the worst out of all of it. If you know who I'm talking to directly, you know. If you need help, reach out to the Bitcoin Way. You can book a free consultation. The first 30 minutes is free. They've got a couple of services. Number one, secure the money. Number two, secure your devices. Number three, become a sovereign free individual, get a second passport. I want to dive into steps 2 and 3 really quickly. We empower you to become a formidable force of independence. We are proud to introduce Casper. Key features here: robust privacy VPN, zero config VPN, state-of-the-art firewalls and DNS. It's a unified approach to privacy and security, locking down your device, making sure, like, say you go traveling a lot and you plug in to a Wi-Fi, you know nothing's going to get through onto your computer. AI threat detection straight away. Third thing, which I'm most interested in at the moment, is diversifying your citizenship and secure your future with Plan B. They can help you get a second passport. They provide solutions for a changing world. As the world rapidly changes, the Bitcoin way understands your need for a secure and stable future. We offer you the freedom to explore better jurisdictions that respect individual human rights and facilitate a smooth, stress-free relocation. Wherever you are, if you're curious or you just need to follow step one, get your Bitcoin off the exchange, hold in self-custody, make sure you can sleep easy at night. First 30 minutes is free. Tony and the team, absolutely awesome. Bitcoin price today, absolutely awesome. This is the days that we live for, making the most of these red days. They won't last long and they won't last forever. Because Bitcoin, it's just TikTok, next block. It keeps innovating. People like Jack Mullers, what a guy. CEO of Strike, Bitcoin payment app Strike launches services in the UK. This move comes after a successful rollout in Europe and Africa earlier this year, bringing the total number of countries where Strike operates to over 100. Mr. 100, right here. Shout out to you, Jack Mullers, for doing that. We're seeing Lightning integration more and more. We'll get into Warren Buffett's bank in 2 secs. Potential pro Vice President of the United States is still speculation, not confirmed yet. But Vivek Ramaswamy is rumored to be Donald Trump's choice to be his vice president if elected. Vivek, we've got Siri talking. Good morning, Siri. Vivek is pro-Bitcoin and accepted Bitcoin Lightning donation. Thanks, Siri. Vivek is pro-Bitcoin, accepted Bitcoin Lightning donations during his... Wow. Okay. Lightning donations during his presidential campaign. Siri, Iris, always watching, always listening. And the reason why these speculations have come together, Trump said his VP would be attending the first presidential debate. Vivek has confirmed that he will be attending there. So we'll see. I'm sure a few politicians will be attending. Vivek, he's really stood for Bitcoin. He's the one that got into Trump's ear and said, hey, talk about Bitcoin. Trump tried it out, got a good response. Having Vivek in there, I think that would be the best option. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. All the way here over in Australia, I think it would be good. From the outside looking in, I think it would be good for the US, but also for the rest of the world. Let me know where that thinking is flawed. That would be greatly appreciated. And I just want to shout out again to everyone that is trickling in this morning. CJK in the house, man. It's we need to get you back on the show. We shall do that. Retro Beaver, Watcher, Johnny Midas, Mr. Android, Blick in the house. I need some more hair mousse. I'll give you a call this morning. Blick's the guy that did a podcast, Bitcoin hairdresser in Melbourne. That's good fun. Restream bot, dropping truth. 21 watching, smash the like. G'day Bitcoiners, Bitcoin Buddha, Jake Thomas, unknown user in the house. Sandwich, Retro Beaver. We will dive into the comments of banter at the end. Brian Demon, massive Bitcoin Lightning adoption. Now, what's he talking about here? Latin America digital bank, Nubank, is integrating the Bitcoin Lightning Network for its 100 million customers with the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Now, Nubank will... I'll bring this up first. The Motley Fool, Nubank of... come on. Ads this morning. We got ads. We got Siri. It's what a glorious day. It's raining outside. One of those oft overlooked stocks is New Holdings. Just saying that Berkshire Hathaway, one of their often overlooked stocks. Brazilian digital bank that accounts for just 0.3% Berkshire's portfolio. Berkshire currently holds 107.1 million shares in Nubank, which gives it a 2.3% stake in the company. So Nubank here, they are bringing Bitcoin Lightning to its 100 million Latin American customers. Lightspark will also integrate the universal money address stand for Nubank, which gives an email-like address for users to send and receive money. On the Lightning Network, I really love the email address. It's so much easier than copying and pasting an invoice, that big string of characters, having that's absolutely awesome. Like, we're so early, it's so exciting. And Bitcoin's already at $61,000. Like, I don't even know if we can imagine how high this thing's going over time, over our life. Does it matter? No, we've got an opportunity to get it while it's cheap, while we can still buy it. And while it's still being built out, until this becomes ubiquitous everywhere, Brazilian neobank Nubank has partnered with the platform payment Lightspark to offer Bitcoin Lightning Network to 100 million customers in Latin America. Lightspark said on June 25th that it is working with Nubank to start the Lightning integration, mapping, building potential products, and would have more to share in the future. Lightspark will also integrate the Universal Money Address standard. One more thing here, two more things. Lightspark has been building the Lightning Network infrastructure for enterprises since it was co-launched in 2022. Look who's involved here. These PayPal mafia people, they're absolutely everywhere. Former PayPal president David Marcus, absolutely insane. Got Jack potentially paying for Julian Assange's jet costs, the freedom there. Maybe as Andrew, maybe as probably more likely Jack. We'll probably never know. Either part of the PayPal mafia, Elon Musk as well. It's incredible. These guys are just everywhere doing some cool things. Nubank is backed by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway and allows the trading of 14 cryptocurrencies. It's pretty interesting. Now, I wouldn't advise anyone to do this at all. If it gets passed through, US Congressman Matt Gaetz introduces bill to allow federal income tax to be paid with Bitcoin. You've worked so hard for the world's hardest asset. You're getting at 61,000, 74,000, 50,000, 30,000, $10. It's going to continue to go up over time, and they want to take it because they know that. No, just pay them in fiat. It's probably a better option, an easier option. Don't sell your Bitcoin. Don't give them your corn. But it's interesting how much things have changed. And if they accept it for taxes, does that mean it's legal tender in the USA? How does that work? That would be my guess. Maybe that is a sneaky way to be able to get it in as a currency. We'll keep you updated with that one. It's pretty interesting. And just a reminder why you need Bitcoin instead of CBDCs. The digital euro holding limit debate continues. It's crazy what they want to come up with. One argument made against the digital euro is that it might increase risks to financial stability, he explained. If the digital euro could be held in large amounts, periods of banking distress could see shifts from deposits to digital euro accounts or wallets. This could contribute to a systemic bank run where everyone is worse off. However, he stressed there exists a very simple remedy for this risk, holding limits. Now, we'll dive into the holding limits in a second, but if the digital euro could be held in large amounts, periods of banking distress could see shifts from deposits to digital euro accounts or wallets. There's two things there. I don't know if there's going to be two systems like the current fiat and the digital, and you just keep your savings in Bitcoin. But if you're to stay in the fiat slave system, you keep them in the deposit account, and when you need to use things for the digital euro, you transfer it over, and we'll get into their numbers there, which is so low. Or like, is that how it starts? And then they just phase out fiat, and then people are already used to these limits here. It's really not much. A range of 1,500 to 2,500 digital euro per person, or a holding limit as high as 3,000. Like, is that it? Is that all you're allowed in your account? To own nothing and be happy? When's this get implemented? Tinfoil hat 2030? Is that what they're lining this up for? Not sure. It probably makes a little bit of sense to be stacking Bitcoin self-custody, not on a ledger, if that is the case. But Nagel also mentioned a paper by the European Central Bank is putting out this propaganda. Economists that suggested that a holding limit of 3,000 digital euro per person would be successful in containing the impact on bank liquidity risk, even in extremely pessimistic scenarios. It's the banks that set themselves up for bank liquidity risk. Is this pre-programming? Do they know that a banking crisis is coming and they want to contain it by only allowing you to hold 3,000 digital euro per person? I don't know. It's all speculation. The Bundesbank president explained a holding limit implies that the amount of digital euros a customer can hold is capped at a specific amount. And this means that only a limited amount of deposits can be withdrawn, which will considerably reduce the risk of a bank run during times of distress. Why not just not create times of distress? That sounds like a better idea to me. I don't know. And like in Australia, with these AML laws everywhere with $10,000, back in the day, that was about $100,000 worth of purchasing power. It's not that anymore. So $3,000, they print a whole lot of money, do what they did in 2020, 2021. $3,000 is $1,500 in 4 short years. It's really not a lot of money. I don't know. And it may not be dystopian as that. It's probably worth just taking a little bit of time to understand it could happen, why we buy, stack, and chill, and become a sovereign individual. That's the Bitcoin news with the fast facts. I'm going to dive into a bit of a Bitcoin banter. If you're hanging around, welcome. If you're heading off, have a beautiful day. Do something nice for yourself and for somebody else. And hit the like and subscribe button if we vibe. Now, shout out to all the legends in the chat. Hank Miller, they'll program CBDCs to not be able to buy Bitcoin. Yeah, if it gets that bad, and maybe they only allow it for high net worth individuals or accredited investors. Either way, maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. We've got this opportunity right now to be able to buy Bitcoin. It's only $61,017. $61,017.21, if you want me to be precise. Doesn't really matter. If they're going to keep printing money, which they need to keep printing money, on what time frame, who knows, but mathematically certain, probably pays to do what we can right now, just in case. And if we're all wrong, great. Numbers still go up. Power of Bitcoin, it's pretty freaking cool. Joseph, good to see you in the house this morning. G'day for the win. Blick, I sure will, brother. G'day, Habib. Gargoyle in the house. Retro Beaver, the masters sick and tired of the globalist agenda being forced upon them. 100%. And it's really easy just to step sideways, to opt out. But yeah, a lot of nonsense, and I think we'll see a little bit more this year with the elections and everything going on. It'll be interesting, and I don't know. Try not to get too caught up in it as much as we can, but realize it's a game they're playing, stuff their game. Let's play a new game, Bitcoin, and let them catch up. I'm surprised you use Siri. It's so easy, super helpful, and probably not the best thing to do, but yes, I do use Siri on one of my phones. That phone doesn't go with me really anywhere. It sticks in the office, and it's not my actual phone. It's this one up here. Unknown user is a legend, Sean. There we go. Unknown user, you're a legend, brother. Shout out. Well, brother or sister, I don't know. Finally, I'm a whole coiner after this dip. Let's effing go, bro. Well done. Well done. Fantastic. That proof of work. I don't know how hard that journey was. Well done. Now just hold on to it. Make sure it's in self-custody, air gap wallet, and you're sweet. You've just done what so few people on the whole entire planet, the remaining time of Bitcoin's history, the world's history, planetary history, are ever going to be able to do. Unknown user, you are a legend. Well done for what you've done for yourself, your friends, your family, making the world a better place. Incredible. For everyone stacking, whether it's 0.1, 0.01, 0.0001, lower than that, higher than that, 10 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin, whatever it is, buying, stacking, chilling, these are all the bosses. Well done. And we got 69 there. And the background, yin and yang, power of the universe, Bitcoin just works. Well done, my man. That's so cool. Biden's Bitcoin Build Back Better broker plan is to sell into weakness, and let them. The more they sell, like, hopefully they just tank it down to 40,000. Don't see it happening, but imagine how good would it be. Probably start being short chairs, seating arrangements in the house. CJK, let's sell finite Bitcoin for infinite dollars, the same dollars we have the power to print. 100% agree. That is hands selling me their sats once again. Thank you, US Gov. Watcher, oh dear. G'day from Flyover, USA. Jan, excellent news for the whole coiner. 100%. You're still getting ripped off, paying with Bitcoin. At Glencoe, I'm not really sure what that's referring to. I can't see in the chat, Mr. Android. But everyone, congrats, unknown user. Oh, there we go. I'd pay my taxes with Bitcoin only if they gave a 99% discount. Glencoe, you're still getting ripped off paying with Bitcoin. I happen to agree. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing it. They can have their dirty fiat, but 99% off probably would as well. Well, of course I would. I just put it into fiat, put it into Bitcoin. Sweet as. 6,999, flip it upside down. Larry Fink playing games, the US government playing games. Bitcoin, you're here, you're now, you're winning. Buy, stack, chill. Have a beautiful day. Do something nice for yourself, for somebody else. It's red. It's freaking red. Make the most of it. It's glorious, however long it lasts. Sooner or later, slowly then suddenly. By September this year, I really think things are going to go start. CJK, I need to get you on the show and get your thoughts in regards to it. Whether it happens September, October, November, I don't care. The longer, the lower it stays, the better. Been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow with Knut. Epic interview, and I'll drop that Lawrence Lepard. So hit subscribe and the notification for that.